What's up, Natural Bodybuilding World? This is John Bossy here, covering the IFPA Pro USA. I'm here with the winner of the men's pro heavyweight division, Chris Nsubuga. Chris has come all the way over from the UK, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
He's a DFAC world champion, and today trying his hand in the IFPA and did quite well for himself. Chris, kind of give us a recap of how it went and how you feel.
Oh my God, nothing can explain how I'm feeling right now. First of all, thanks to God and thanks to my wife, Claire, and my two little kids. I really thank co-nutritionals for their support. These guys, have been right behind me on this journey course, which started only about 6 weeks ago when I got the co-nutritionals sponsorship. So I'm blessed, in that way, with my family, co-nutrition behind me as a support for what they've done for me. I was excited to come over and do Bob and Tina's show as it's a dream. I call it as a dream. To me, I've always wanted to come and to California, do Bob and Tina's, hearing about the west side when I was a little kid. It's west side, it's all about the west side, east side, cause rivalry. And now being here and getting to see even people that I see as mentors and people who have inspired me more, people like Moji, it's just unbelievable. Moji, I cannot explain it, how I've always wanted to meet that man. It's unfortunately that this man is not with me, but I'm blessed.
Yep. Very good. So maybe you can describe to us a little bit. It seems like we had a couple international competitors today, more people that are coming over. Describe to us kind of the phenomenon of competing internationally, coming over here, how you get used to the food's different and counting it all up, right, and just keeping everything in check the way you would back home, but having to do it in a totally different country.
Well, as regards, it was two of us that came over. My good old friend Liam from Manchester. He was
also did well, I think, right?
he did very, very well. He's well known as Shredder.
Rightfully so.
Yes, Liam is not here with me, but my boy Liam, brings it. He was right up on fire. You could easily see his dress code, his haircut, all, red, the red eyes,
Yep.
the red eyes, the red hair,
Yep.
the red trunks,
Yep. Polished.
polished, completely polished. Besides that, as regards to the food, it was kind of like difficult in terms of getting everything right, given that it's a 16-hour flight to start with, which was on Wednesday for me. In terms of like the carb loading, the water intake, I had to make sure that I got plenty of water on the plane. I took with me on the plane water and lots of banana, things like grapes, and also potatoes. Where the challenge came through is how you get them through Dallas, because my first flight through from Heathrow Airport in London to
Security
Dallas.
wants to confiscate all your goodies.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, so it was difficult. So I had to make sure that I've got all the water intake in at Dallas,
Yeah.
much of it all, because from Dallas to here it was only about 3 hours. But with a blessing, where there's a will, there's always a way.
Yeah.
I managed to get what I wanted, what I needed, past the borders, and get it here in Cali. And besides that, I had a good old friends, Bob and Tina. Bob and Tina, God bless them and their family and the kids. These guys have gone out of their way, helped out Liam, who had more than 20 hours flight, I'll probably say. He got stuck in places, helps him out to get the food, the water. They've done the same for me, water, food. So the organizers of the actual event, Bob and Tina, have done a great job to make us feel at home and feel comfortable in terms of the food and the water, of where to go and places, and taking us to get it.
Awesome. So You're with Core Nutritionals now. Are you actually working with Doug Miller for your prep, or how's that working out? Or do you prep yourself?
It's only been 6 weeks with Core Nutritionals. That 6 weeks is actually, I decided to do Bob and Tina's the week before they announced me as a UK athlete. So it was like, yes, thanks to I was like a little kid basically. And you know what? No one will ever rub this miles away from my face because I am still happy and I will be happy forever. You know, for what they've done, then whether it's going to be a year's contract that I've signed or forever, or for however how long they keep me on board. It, the main purpose of the sign, obviously, is to have a UK representative as an athlete, to sponsor. In terms of selling or getting things out, that is Core Nutritionals working on top of that. But I will be doing my best as well to see if I could handle a bit of that and, spread the news, spread the good products, because the Core Nutritionals core band has done wonders for me for 6 weeks that I've had of my prep to be looking the way I am.
Awesome. So I think I'm seeing videos of you on Facebook deadlifting like 7 plates aside or something,
Yes,
5-6 weeks out from contest. Tell us a little bit about how you train over there in the UK. How you're pulling these weights when you're that lean.
I can't believe that you've managed to see all that already. Look, for me to train as hard as I do with the deadlifts, my training is best on periodizing, how I approach it. And I've got phases like the hypertrophy where I best look at to hit, reps of, 8 to 12 using my 1 rep max, to calculate those 8 to 12 reps, as well as timing myself on my rest period. During the hypertrophy, my rest periods are normally in regions of 30 seconds to 40 seconds of rest in between the sets. The number of sets, depending on which exercise I do, could vary from 4 to 6 sets. Sets, per muscle group that I could be doing. That depends on what type of group, like my quads or my legs. I happen to try to do as much, say about 5 different exercises of that particular area, the legs, the quads. But in the hamstrings, I must say this, I used to train them on the same day I do my quads, but not until read Doug Miller's, talk about the approach of the hamstrings and having good hamstrings. My approach changed 6 weeks ago, just as little as 6 weeks ago, on how I train my hamstrings. So at least I train them once a week, not the same time as I train my quads.
So you can give them more emphasis, more energy.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So Doug Miller, not only is he a sponsor, Core Nutrition has been a sponsor, but I always look up to Doug Miller. I've always looked up to Doug Miller on his training methods. He's one of the pros around the IFPA that I do, as well as my Moji, who puts out videos out there of his training techniques, which is awesome, because even I, personally, as people might say, you were a pro, you already know it. I don't know, I always carry on looking at
Very cool.
for such people. So in terms of the preparation for this show, for what Core Nutritions have done, Coban has been the absolute number one in my preparation. Core Fury for the training, that mental lifting of the big weights, as well as Core ABC. Oh, those two I can't separate. The full recovery, to get things done, get back next day for the training session without having too much of the legally pains here and there. Core ABC. Come on, baby.
Way to go. Nice. So, Chris, let's wrap things up here. Tell us a little bit about shows maybe that you have planned for later in the year. Are you looking to defend your DFAC crown, or what's in store for you in the coming months?
Well, with the
Too early to know.
I know you're gonna edit
We're
that.
catching
I know
on
you're gonna
camera.
edit that.
You're hearing it here first, folks.
I know that. I know it is. I've been put on the spot right here, right? You get it. But I hope you edit this. Well, listen, right? I've done this show. Normally, you could feel, with the energy that I've had off the stage. Normally at this time, it's been over. The last time I was on stage, probably about 6 hours ago. Normally, my abs have disappeared.
Yeah.
Normally, my abs have disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, DFAC, I'm coming.
Yep.
IFPA, Yorton Cap, watch out.
All right. Awesome. We look forward to seeing it. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap things up here. Chris, thanks so much for your time. It's really awesome seeing you come all the way over from the UK and be so successful, and the new gig with Core Nutritionals and all that. Wish you all the success in the future, and we'll look for you at the Yorton. Until next time, this is John Bossy here with Inside Natural Bodybuilding, the IFPA Pro USA. Thanks.